What's happening in the markets this week?
Equity markets continue to trade near record highs as earnings season in the United States rolls on. This week will be a big one for determining the durability of the rising market, as some of the biggest names in Silicon Valley are due to report corporate earnings. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Amazon and Tesla are amongst those names, and analysts will be hoping for some strong numbers after Netflix disappointed the market last week. US equities are trading at their richest valuation since the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s, following big gains for technology companies during the COVID-19 lockdowns last year, and moves by central banks around the world to provide some of the cheapest money in history. Some analysts argue that historically low interest rates justify the very high valuations, but solid results this week will still be very important to calm the nerves of traders. A further point of concern for markets this week is the big rise in COVID-19 infection numbers in India. The West Australian Premier has been vocal in calling for a temporary ban on travellers from India, as new case numbers have exceeded 300,000 per day. This comes following the announcement of a snap 3-day lockdown in Perth last week, and revelations that 40% of positive cases in hotel quarantine are from travellers who have recently returned from India. There are also concerns around a new mutant strain of the virus originating from the region, which may be somewhat resistant to existing vaccines. Commodity prices have been rallying nicely in recent times, which is great news for Australia. Iron ore is trading at more than $180 per metric tonne, which should provide a nice boost to the budget, which is due to be handed down in May. Chicago wheat futures also closed strongly last week, with a December 22 contract dealing at above 315 Aussie dollars per tonne, and Brent crude is fetching just over $66 per barrel. Later today, we will see Australian inflation data for the first quarter of this year released. Markets are expecting CPI inflation to come in at about 1.4% year on year, but a number of banks are expecting a surprise to the upside. This will be quite an important number for setting expectations of the future direction of interest rates, as the RBA has previously stated that they will not be raising the cash rate until inflation is sustainably within their 2 to 3% target band. And that's finance.
It's a critical week in the markets.
Absolutely, and it could really set the tone for the rest of the year.